I remember the first time I went to MCC in the Valley where I did my ordination internship. I remember the first time I went to MCC LA, which is now Founders MCC, where I'm on staff as Minister of Congregational Care. I remember the first time I went to MCC Omaha, the first time I went to Spirit of Hope in Kansas City, Spirit of Christ in Joplin, Sunshine Cathedral in Fort Lauderdale, and gosh, I've just been to so many MCCs all around the U.S., and every single one of them is unique and different, and they all have something beautiful to contribute to my spiritual journey and to the spiritual journey of the people who attend there.
I came to MCC 10 years ago when MCC reopened in the city that I lived in, which is Brighton in the UK. I was looking for and found a lively worship service that was fun to be in and encouraged everyone to take part. I have to admit, I came to MCC because I was basically told by my housemate that I had to. And no was not an acceptable answer, and after 6 months of excuses, I walked in the door.
My first experience at MCC was about a year ago, and as soon as I walked in the doors, I felt it was the right church for me. I felt comfortable, I felt accepted and loved, and MCC, King of Peace, means family, means family that's not blood.
MCC provided me a place to just grow and learn about myself, learn about other people in a place where love and acceptance were the things that were being taught.
When I first came to MCC, I felt just a sense of peace and a sense of love. I remember in the beginning when we were all sharing peace with one another, it felt the most genuine that I'd experienced from any other church that I've been in.
The experience there was very uplifting, very affirming, very warm. The people at the time, and still to this day, are very open, unconditional. They're willing to accept you where you are in all of your humanness.
You know what? For the first time in a long time, that little 19-year-old kid who had been homeless, who had been kicked out by his family, who didn't have any friends, who had tried to take his own life and had thought that God had forgotten him, heard the very still small voice of God say that nothing can separate you from my love, and I made you and created you exactly as you are, and I love you where you're at, and the things that you've heard have been lies of hate and confusion.
My first time at MCC was exciting, to be around a lot of people who were just like me and to come to worship God and not feel judged by those around them.
But then about halfway through the service, something happened. I remember that Pastor Keith Mazingo decided that he would get up and do prayers to the people, and it was as if at that moment the Holy Spirit that was working in Pastor Keith hit the Holy Spirit working inside of me, and I just began to weep.
I walked through the doors. I remember walking through the doors and feeling this rush, this wave of love, and this feeling of home that I'd never felt in my life in a church.
MCC to me means a place of hope, where other people will be able to gather and feel comfortable, where they're able to worship the Lord without feeling discriminated against.
It means home. It's a place where people can come together as a family to support your spiritual growth. It's inclusive and accepting an environment where people can grow and I can express myself as a Christian and build a stronger relationship with God through Christ.
Couples pray together, they stay together, so we wanted to welcome God into our relationship too. And we realized there's no better place to do it.
The first time I ever came to MCC, I felt very comfortable. I felt like their environment was very humble. I've gone to many other churches and I just didn't feel as welcome there.
And so going to MCC for the first time was actually really challenging, because it was a place where love had no limits, where a really radical message of the gospel was being preached, and I was like, whoa, I can't deal with this.
There's any place in the world that needs the MCC Church at San Antonio, and so I was inspired by this community and this community of people in this church that seemingly, without question, without question, let anyone in.
And, you always feel like you're with family when you're there. And that's the kind of feeling I always try to put on people when they've come in. Is that they're home and that they're safe and that, there's family here for them. The chosen family for them.
I am transformed by the author of love. We are a community that lives out Jesus' message to those who need it the most.
I've become a better person, our relationship is better, and we now have a bigger family.
My name is Eli. I am on a fantastic journey, and we are moving and shaking towards something very beautiful.
I am a member of a family that reaches all across the world. And MCC is the reason why.
I am MCC, and we are unconditional.
I'm grateful to MCC above and beyond everything. Also, I do think that MCC is love.
I am a heterosexual son of a T, and we are, MCC is, a bold and vibrant community.
I am MCC, and we are all about radical and